We're Mighty Morphin Power Nerds!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mighty Morphin Power Nerds, Episode 2.
Hello, hello!
Alright, to get started, let's just say, of course, spoilers for Mighty Morphin Season 1, Episode 22 through 40. Let's get started with a plot recap. You want to cover it, Lucky?
You can.
Oh, good lord. Let's start with the official summary. On the moon, while Rita naps, Babu and Squat take charge by using Finster's Monstermatic, to create a monster, a tortoise with a stoplight on its back named Shellshock. This monster proves to be the terrible menace the Rangers to the Rangers and uses his Go Beam to put Trini in perpetual motion, speeding her away. Flashing his stop beam freezes Billy, Zach, and Kimberly, leaving Jason to stop Shellshock. Fortunately, he is not alone as a newcomer. Tommy and his Dragon Zord join in the fight. Let's talk about that episode. For whatever reason, they decided it's a good idea to destroy some random dude's cart. They just absolutely obliterate it, and Bulk and Skull are now forced to work for him until they pay off the money they owe him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Pretty sure they said 2 weeks, which is like...
yeah, 2 weeks, which I guess that's not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
So, while fighting a giant version of the tortoise monster, Jason, for whatever reason, said "we" when he is alone. No one else is there.
He said we need Megazord power now, and he was standing alone,
Mm-hmm.
which was a bit strange.
Uh-huh. As the fight continued, though, Trini gets back with the special flowers, and
Tommy is in the fight at this point.
yes,
I should mention.
and for whatever reason, she calls Tommy Billy. She says, "Jason, Billy, I got the flowers," and we're both like, "Wait a minute, Billy? He's frozen at the command center. What do you mean, Billy?" Yeah.
Just something else. We
Mm-hmm.
also just like saw throughout this entire thing, like the Rangers seriously are just jerks.
I will argue, I could make a decent argument that they treat Bulk and Skull worse than Bulk and Skull treat anyone. Like, they're called school bullies, but they barely bully anyone. They get bullied more than anyone else.
Mm.
I think that brings us to the next episode. Anything else we want to comment on episode 22?
I think there's some points where Trini does end up stopping,
I
even
don't
though she's supposed to
remember.
be constantly moving.
Yeah, she might have. Also, Tommy, in this official summary, Tommy is not a newcomer. Like, sure, yeah, he just joined the team, but we've known about him and his Dragon Zord for like 5 episodes because of all the Green with Evil parts. Yeah, that's about it. It's not a bad episode. It's just a meh episode.
Mm.
All right. So we're going to skip around a little bit here, but we are going to talk about episode 23. The official summary. Trini and Billy petition to save the... Trini and Billy?
Yeah. That's right.
Okay, I thought it was Kimberly for some reason. Whatever. Trini and Billy petition to save the forest statue from demolition. It supposedly protects the woods from nasty bug infestations. Rita swipes the statue and replaces it with a look-alike, which she hides her Spidertron monster. Zach brings his young hip-hop kiddo class to the park to work out nearby, and all but Zach are put under a sleeping spell by the tarantula-like Spidertron.
Sorry, that says hip hop keto
Oh,
because it was like combining hip hop and keto.
okay. In my defense, you can see how it looks.
Yeah.
It looks like it says kiddo.
Yeah.
The tarantula-like Spidertron, who soon reveals himself. Alas for Zach, he has a deathly fear of bugs, especially spiders. The Rangers morph, and the eight-legged menace grows. The result in the need to employ the new Zord combination in the fight. Dragon Zord in battle mode. First of all, I will talk about this when we get to Island of Illusions. It appears Zach is afraid of god dang everything.
Yeah.
He is always scared.
Yep.
No, it's not this episode. Is it? Wait. Yeah, it's the next episode. Or no, it's not. It's a couple episodes. We took horrible notes.
Yep.
So, excuse us. I'm trying to...
To be fair, our notes that we wrote down, we really only wrote down for like the first few episodes.
Yeah, and we skipped... And we missed some things. Because we both forgot to be taking notes. So we skipped a couple episodes. Because our next point isn't till episode, like... episode, or actually no, it is this episode. I'm stupid. Or what?
26.
Next episode? Yeah, not this episode. I mean, of course, we can't watch only the cool episodes. That would destroy the entire point of this.
Yeah.
Spidertron's meh. Hang on, let me look at Spidertron real quick. Power Ranger. All right. Spidertron's pretty meh. He just
What
is
I
basic.
find what I find a bit strange or funny, depends how you take it. Rita replaced the statue in the park. No one noticed her do this, apparently.
Yeah, like a major statue that isn't worthy enough of getting a petition to save it.
Yeah.
And
when Zach saw it, they look nothing alike. The only reason he said he could tell the difference was because she was supposed to have flowers in her hand, not a snake. But yet, the two statues, in my opinion, don't look anything alike.
yeah, they look similar, but they're not exactly alike, even with the one difference. Dragonzord in battle mode is interesting. I think it's a really stupid concept, though, for one reason. Why? Because there's a mode where the Dragonzord can fuse with the full, like, Megazord, right?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like the form right before Ultrazord or whatever. Why does Dragonzord in battle mode need to exist? Because it kicks Jason out. And the Tyrannosaurus is nowhere near as strong as the Dragonzord. At least that's always been the implication I've gotten, that the Dragonzord is on par with the Megazord.
Yeah. I'd say that too, because it is basically its own Megazord.
Yeah. So I don't understand the need for battle mode when, especially with that other combination where it's the Megazord with the Dragonzord.
Yeah.
Even without Titanus, is that its name?
Yes.
Yeah, that's in the next episode 26 we're going to talk about. But I think it's a stupid. I don't like it, but it is a cool idea. Bad execution. Yeah, that's about it. This episode's not really all that interesting. It has some pretty fun ideas that are done poorly. Spidertron, like most of Power Rangers, is just the monster of the week. Nothing that makes him real cool or special.
Yeah.
I forgot he existed.
Yeah, basically, when I was going through picking which episodes we should watch, I was like sort of picking ones that might even have a little bit of importance. Like this one is about Zack basically trying to overcome his fears, which even it's not that important, but still a little.
Especially with Island of Illusion.
Mhm.
But we'll get to Island of Illusion. um all right, well, that's the episode. Yeah, episode 23, it's meh in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, episode 26. Oh boy, episode 26. Let me get through the summary. Jason and Tommy team up for an upcoming Team Ninja competition at the youth center. However, they're having trouble working together. They're both used to sparring one-on-one. Rita unleashes the Super Putties as the Rangers fight fight the nigh invincible Clay Soldiers. Zordon sends Jason and Tommy to retrieve new weapons. They face a strange creature known as Titanus, and they must learn teamwork in the face of adversity, or both of them will be killed. Spoiler alert: no, they will not. That's the summary.
Yeah.
Super Putties. Hang on. I'm gonna double check this. I think they only have 3 appearances in all of Power Rangers. That might be wrong.
If they had 3 appearances in all of Power Rangers, that would mean that that 2 of those are within 20 episodes.
Yeah. I can think of at least 2. The episode with clones, that will be one of the last episodes we talk about.
Yeah.
And the episodes that are introduced, and there's one more. I'm trying to remember. God dang it. No. Oops. Super Putty Patrollers. Hang on. Sorry, everyone. Super Putty, were upgraded in versions of. Hang on. So, according to Ranger Wiki, uh, appearances, season 1. Maybe they appear multiple times. Life is a Masquerade and Gun Ho. Except Life is a Masquerade is they're only mentioned. Which, wow. That's it.
Which, to be fair, that's also wrong.
What do you mean?
Because they're in a bad reflection of you.
That I said that.
Did you?
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
I did. I did in fact say that. Technically they are, but they're not meant, like, they're not even called out by name. They're only there, and I think it was an error. Personally, I don't think they intended for the Super Putties to make an appearance in that. Anyway, other than the Super Putties, it's an episode about Tommy and Jason working together. Which I'm gonna point out makes no sense because literally, in episode 23, not episode 23, episode 22, they're working together. They're fighting, just the two of them, together. And it's just, whatever, it's a trope in the 90s that, ooh, the two big characters are, don't want to work together until a situation forces them to work together. Which, you know what, it's the 90s, I get it. It's what happens.
Yeah. Which this episode also introduced a concept that wasn't actually used much, from what I can remember, which was Jason having Tommy's shield.
I think it was used at least a couple times.
Yeah, that's why I said not used
yeah.
much.
And the reason for that is because, well, later on, Tommy does return as the Green Ranger for a bit.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why. But, other than that, I mean, he doesn't get in a lot of one-on-one fights where the power shield's useful.
Yeah. Basically, Tommy gave Jason his shield, Jason gave Tommy his sword, and Jason had to try and get. I can't remember what he had to try and get.
The components for the guns.
Yeah. The blasters, that's right.
The blasters, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
They're pew-pews.
They're.
No, it's a tropey episode. It's fun. It introduces a concept that will become more commonplace in the next batch of episodes. And then almost immediately revoked, actually. I just realized that my sentence did not hold true because the next batch of episodes includes the return, or Old Friend Returns. Anyway, we're not talking about those episodes. Titanus. It's a Brachiosaurus. It's just there to be another Zord for them to use.
Yeah.
And the whole thing was a test, meaning Zordon wasted precious time on a test. The other Rangers could have been killed. I just want to point that out. Anyway, yeah.
It's not the fact of Jason and Tommy could have been killed, it's the fact of the other Rangers could have been killed because Zordon put them under a test.
Yeah, which I get it. They need to learn to work together. But could you not do this another day? Or, like, later that day? Because, I hate to tell you, the other Rangers were getting their butt kicked. Whatever. Moving on to episode 27. The Rangers are involved with a play of Rumpelstiltskin at Angel Grove High. An antique spinning wheel that belonged to Kimberly's grandmother is used as a prop, which is accidentally broken by Bulk and leaves it in a position to be captured by Rita's goons. I have words for that. Who turn it into the evil Wheel of Misfortune. Wheel of Fortune. The Rangers have to bring a stop to the giant wheel without ruining Kimberly's family heirloom. I don't think that was brought up at all. Not destroying it, I don't remember that being a problem.
I don't either. I don't think it actually
Correct us if
was.
we're wrong, but I don't think that was actually an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just after the fact, Kimberly said what she's gonna tell her grandmother about the wheel because she thought it was destroyed.
Yeah, but it's not like they were trying not to break it.
Yeah.
Um,
Which, this is the
Go
first
ahead.
time Rita actually used something to turn into a monster.
Instead of just having Finster create one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I think it
technically
is.
it's not a monster, but technicalities.
Yeah. I just want to point out, Rita, they didn't leave it in a position to be stolen by Rita. It was just out in the open. Anyone could have, well, not really. I even mentioned it when we were watching the episode. She's like, did someone carry it off? And I'm like, no!
It's like, did someone walk off with it? No, that thing would have taken at least 2 people to carry out, so there's no way someone just walked off with it.
Especially without someone reporting them.
Yeah.
Anyone.
It
Or the
was
teacher seeing
in
them.
a classroom. It was in a
Mm-hmm.
classroom. Like, you're not getting that out without someone noticing.
Also, I might just be stupid. Are the youth center and the school connected?
No.
No, I thought they were for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, not the point. Yeah, the wheel turns evil. I forgot what power it had. It had some kind of gimmick.
It just turned into a wheel that had a bunch of spikes that basically, I think it was supposed to destroy anything it crashed into.
I think you're
Something like
confusing
that.
it with the mirror.
No, it's something on those lines.
Or gives whatever it
Uh,
touches a bad luck charm or whatever. Something.
yeah, it's something on the lines of damaging it comes into contact with. I know what the mirror is.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of just there. A lot of these episodes in season 1 are not very interesting, and
yeah,
it's very hard to sit through them sometimes. Like, there's a couple episodes like, ooh, yeah, this is getting interesting when they take the premise seriously, but otherwise, it's just meh.
yeah.
And I think Billy would agree.
Affirmative.
Yeah, Billy agrees.
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you, Billy. Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's episode 27. It's just really meh. Which is honestly the worst thing a episode can be. A bad episode at least is entertaining. A good
Yeah.
episode? Great. A meh episode is just bleh. Whoa, are we already moving on to onto Illusion Island?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
28.
Yeah. Before an upcoming dance competition, Zack, despite his usual smooth moves, has a massive case of self-doubt.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
We're on
Illusion
Island of
Island.
Illusion.
Yes, Island of Illusion. I'm like, Before an upcoming dance competition, Zack, despite his usual smooth moves, has a massive case of self-doubt. Rita is inspired and takes aim to send the 6 Rangers to their very own trans-dimensional island, where a person's worst fears become a reality. She summons the celestial being Lokar and his wicked zombie-like creature. I don't even know how you would begin to say that.
Mutitus?
Whatever.
Mutitus.
Either the Megazord has to prove to be a match, or the Rangers will be island-bound even when the Mutitus assumes a Chinese dragon-resembling form. Okay, that's a weird summary.
Yeah.
Island of Illusion. It's good. It's not the. It's much more interesting.
Yeah. It gets funny when they start facing their fears.
Yeah, it's very goofy. It's
Yeah.
charming. You know, it has its moments. Of course, this is the
Yeah.
90s, so the special effects aren't going to be anything to, you know, be impressed by.
Yeah. I think one of my favorite of the um fears that pops up has either got to be Zack's, just because of his reaction when he first saw it. It was pretty
Mm-hmm.
funny. Or Kimberly's, because of her reaction when she saw it.
Yeah. For context, this is what I was mentioning earlier. Zack is afraid of everything. He's afraid of
His
bugs. He's afraid of spiders. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure he's afraid of a couple more things that get mentioned later on.
yeah, his worst fear that showed up on the Island of Illusion was a snake.
Which contradicts the other episodes. The other episode with bugs that he said his worst fear was spiders.
Yeah,
But it's still an interesting concept.
yeah.
Some
Kimberly's
do.
fear was very funny.
I don't know why. I don't understand why it was a fear. So Kimberly's fear was that Bulk and Skull were good, like goody two shoe, angel dressed up in
Yeah,
angel
they were being
costumes
nice.
and whatever. I don't understand why that's a fear. You would think that would be her hope.
No, I think she said it was something that creeped her out
She said
or
something
weirded
along the
her
lines
out.
of Rita can no. It's what she
If
said is
Rita can make that happen, she can do anything.
yeah. I think that's where the fear came in, but then
Yeah,
it's still stupid. It's funny. It's very funny.
it is.
And you just know the actors had a great time with that one.
Yeah.
Um,
Bulk and Skull being nice.
yeah. What were the other Rangers like worst fears? Uh,
Um,
Billy.
Trini's was the heights
Yeah, Trini's was heights, which I'm pretty sure she already conquered.
ish.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, yeah, as much as a fear can be conquered, but she did like deal with her fear already.
yeah.
Yeah, she did have.
Um,
I know Billy's was that his scientific knowledge isn't gonna be enough.
yeah.
Which,
Um, Tommy, I'm not completely sure.
Tommy.
Because the others just got his friends just got turned into putties for him.
I think his fear was that he wouldn't have his friends there with him to help.
That was Jason.
No, there's a difference.
Oh
Because
no,
Jason's fear was that he
Jason,
failed his friends.
yeah. Tommy's fear, I think, was ending up back in Rita's hands, which was why it was putties.
Yeah, which is ironic in a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Not ironic, it's just funny. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's all their fears. Oh, I guess that actually covered both, or that covered some stuff in the second episode too, I think.
Yeah, Quagmire was pretty funny too.
Yeah. Here, I'll read the summary for episode 29, Island of Illusions, part 2. Trapped on a strange island of illusion, each ranger comes face to face with their worst fears. The island's only inhabitant, an elf named Quagmire. I can only think of one word when I read that name, and it's giggity. Appears and offers them rhyming reminders of self-confidence. But whether he is a friend or foe is not immediately apparent. Even if they can get off the island, the team will still have to face the second round against the monster, and they may not last that second round. Yeah, we talked about most of the stuff that happened on Island of Illusion. Of course, they escape the island and beat the monster. The most interesting part is finding out the Rangers' supposed greatest fears.
Yeah.
Which
I feel like Jason failing his friends was also slightly established before in Green with Evil.
That one feels like it had the most lead up to it.
Yeah.
In fact, I think this episode should have taken place after the Green Candle.
Yeah.
And I will explain why when we talk about Green Candle parts 1 and 2. But for now, let's talk about episode 30. Jason and his young cousin Jeremy become embroiled in a plot. I almost said pot because I was thinking boiling. Embroiled in a pot. God, embroiled in a pot. God. Embroiled in a plot by Rita and Scorpina to capture the powerful Mirror of Destruction. Well, Zack takes the others on a diving trip outside Angel Grove. The rock golem themed Rockstar, stupid name, monster rounds out the cast. Okay. Jason is plummeted to the ground by this lobbing rock. And the others are recalled from their vacation to rescue him. Jeremy finds the mirror and is amazed, and to his amazement, he finds it can shatter putties. This, however, makes him a target for Scorpina. So, and so the person who plays Jeremy is Richard Lee Jackson, who was also dubbed over the entire episode. He doesn't actually speak a line. Everything he says is recorded over in post. You can tell. Yeah, the rock monster Rockstar, he's pretty basic from what I remember. He was kind of just there.
Yeah. The Rangers didn't actually defeat Rockstar. It was Jeremy with the Mirror of Destruction, which
Yeah.
was thing. And Goldar almost got destroyed as well by the Mirror of Destruction.
Which would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this episode is kind of meh. Jeremy being dubbed over is very distracting.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that Jason is like stuck to the ground from two rocks that they move, the other Rangers move with pretty much with ease. Like they move them with no issue, pretty much. The mirror is a plot device that barely matters. The only thing that gives it real importance is the fact that it's the main item for that Rita's trying to get, but it never comes back up, I don't think.
No, because it was destroyed.
Yeah, which is a whole nother can of worms we'll talk about probably at the end of Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
Which is, and I'll say what it is. It's the fact that Mighty Morphin loved throwing opportunities away, but also loved trying to make story arcs. But they loved throwing some stuff away. We'll talk about that more later when that becomes more apparent. Yeah, it's not really all that great of an episode. It's just, like I said for some of the other episodes, it's meh. Like, really, really meh. Right, Lucky?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 32. This introduces, or not introduces, it reestablishes a very annoying thing Tommy does. But, Tommy is competing with Bulk for a role in the karate commercial. The other Rangers take to the beach for some fun in the sun. Rita takes the day off, leaving Goldar to send a double threat. The cocooning menace of Scorpina's pet we weave monster weave worm and the baseball fevered Babe Ruthless. Oh my god. I will talk about that in a second. Cocooning menace what? Cocooning menace of Scorpina's pet. Oh wait, I already finished it. I was just reading the same line over again. I got so confused.
Yeah.
Babe Ruthless. Why? In fact, what was his name? Shell Shock from episode 22 already had a baseball motif.
Yeah.
Uh, Whatever. I don't even remember that
I think
monster.
I think one of the main sports that's used in Power Rangers is either baseball or soccer.
I think part of the reason why is because, of course, if you don't know, most of the footage of the Rangers in costume is reused from Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Meaning, they're almost never gonna use American football in some of the older shows, because American football is not really popular anywhere else in the world. They might have rugby, but like here in the States, American football is basically the only sport we really care about besides baseball. But in other countries, the major sports are, soccer, hockey, and that kind of thing. And Japan loves baseball. So that's probably why they use baseball so much, because it's
Yeah.
very popular in Japan. Um, that's just a theory. Don't quote me on that. I have no clue why they actually do that. Um, this episode's just another mess. Oh, so this episode introduces the idea of Tommy never keeps his communicator on.
Yeah. Basically, whenever Tommy is doing something, he tends to just take his communicator off and put it in his bag, which not really what Rangers should be doing because they should be
No.
available.
Yeah, I get it. He doesn't want to throw away his chance, but meh. Also, I just want to point out the Netflix summary for the episode says Tommy has to make a choice between his career and his friends. No, he doesn't. In fact, he doesn't know about the attack until after he's done auditioning.
Yeah.
And okay, I just want to point out this isn't an audition because they used the footage of him auditioning as the actual commercial footage.
Mhm.
Now, whether that was a budget thing where they didn't want to have him record a bunch of uh, different stuff, so they just reused footage. Sucks because that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a weird choice. Also, they used Bulk to mock him, which I guess they can do. It's weird. I don't like it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I get the idea is making fun of Bulk, who was so confident, but I mean, he genuinely did try.
Yeah.
It's
Like
not.
he genuinely tried. They said to him, "You're our man," and then like when they put it up on TV, they didn't say what it was gonna be
No, he was
to anyone.
surprised.
He was surprised that they were legit mocking him.
Yeah. Which, okay, yes, I know. Bulk and Skull are bullies. Yes, they do treat people bad. I'm not defending it at all. But they get treated like crap sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, in the end, they're teenagers.
Yeah, that's not an excuse. I definitely know
But
that's not it.
but to get mocked like that by adults?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they deserve what they get.
Yeah, but that was uncalled for.
No, yeah, he genuinely, I will agree, he genuinely did try auditioning.
Yeah.
Of course, was he overconfident and rude to Tommy? Yes. Of course he was. But to be fair, Tommy was pretty confident he would get the part.
Yeah.
Whatever. Besides that, it's a pretty meh episode.
Mhm.
Alright, 34. Oh, we're here.
It's
And this
Green
is where
Candle.
I'll explain why Island of Illusion should go after these two episodes. I'll read both summaries, episode 34 and 35. Rita plans to use a magic candle, which, once burnt out, will drain Tommy of the Green Ranger powers. Goldar kidnaps Tommy and holds him in the dark dimension. Ooh. The other Rangers arrive at the command center trying to devise a plan to rescue Tommy. However, a monster in disguise as the Dragon's old Zord called Cyclopsis becomes the main focus of their attention. They battle the imposter. Meanwhile, Tommy manages to escape and calls for the real Dragon Zord. The monster escapes. Back at the command center, Zordon explains the whole situation to the Rangers. While still under her spell, Tommy came into contact with the wax. Once the candle burns out, his powers will return to Rita. They just repeated themselves. Okay.
Mhm.
Episode 35 summary. Green Candle, Part 2. Zordon explains that someone must enter the Dark Dimension and retrieve the candle if they are to save Tommy's powers, and Jason volunteers. With Billy's help, Alpha discovers a doorway between dimensions. The Rangers find the location and set up the device to open the door. Jason enters and encounters Goldar. Rita sends the Cyclops. It's whatever. Back to Earth to lure Tommy out. The Power Rangers, with the Power Rangers detained, Tommy battles with the One-Eyed Giant himself, and in his weakened state, he is soon overpowered. Jason is forced to abandon the collection of the candle, and the Rangers morph to Tommy's aid. The Rangers succeed in destroying Cyclops, whatever. But the victory is bittersweet as the candle has burned out through Zordon though Zordon had Jason evoke a loophole to keep Rita from getting the Green Ranger's powers back. Good lord. I don't know. I should not have read both of those at the same time. Ugh. This is probably one of my probably my second favorite two-parter behind the five-parter.
Yeah.
The Green Candle it's really interesting that, they found a way to screw Tommy over yet again. Tommy never gets to just chill
Yeah, seriously.
or be a ranger longer than 5 minutes. You know, he
Yeah.
becomes a ranger and then he disappears for a little bit, or he changes what ranger he is.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
longest running ranger is green and white. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I think I know the reason why you said Island of Illusion should have come after.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's mainly because of Jason's fear of failing his friends, because he did genuinely fail Tommy with that, and even the next episode after that, which we didn't watch, I'm pretty sure Green Guilt, it's called, where the entire episode, Jason feels guilty that he couldn't get the candle to save Tommy's powers.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, putting Island of Illusion after Green Candle means Tommy will not be a part of it, but Tommy barely affects the plot at all.
Yeah.
I think it would have been amazing if and I think they come back to the candle concept later on with the rest of the Rangers.
Yes, they do.
Which I forget how that goes, so we'll talk about that when that comes up in like season 2, right? 3, 4, not 4. That's Alien Rangers, technically.
No, it's Green No More, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
God, oh, okay. We'll talk about that
Because
next time then.
yeah, I think Tommy had to save the candles so that they didn't lose their powers too. I'm pretty sure it's Green No More.
We'll find out next time.
Yeah.
Tommy,
We'll
yeah,
find out
Tommy,
when we get to it.
yeah, Tommy, yeah, gets sent to the dark dimension, which they already cracked the frequency to in Green with Evil and should be able to teleport him out.
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, they at least mention that Jason went in there once before.
Yeah. Like Jason went in there before, so he volunteered to go in there again to get the
Mm-hmm.
candle. That was the whole reason Jason went.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention it. Scorpina is the only monster I can think of off the top of my head that changes appearance when she gets larger.
Out of all of them, or just in Mighty Morphin?
At least in Mighty Morphin.
I'd have to think properly about that. That's not a thing for this, but there might have been
There might have
another
been,
one that did that.
but she's like one of the few that does. It's not a common thing.
I know there's monsters that got there's a monster in Samurai
Oh, of course
that
it's
got
Samurai.
that got an upgrade when he became giant.
Was it the goddamn roly-poly thing?
No. It was the one with
Whatever.
the face on his skirt, and he got a
Oh.
giant ball when he became big. He
Mm.
got a shield.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't change physical appearance.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of right now.
Yeah,
But,
anyway,
he
that's not
didn't.
what we're talking about.
Yeah, not Samurai.
Not Samurai. We're not going to get there for a long while.
Yeah, Mighty Morphin.
Mighty Morphin.
I'm surprised that's the first time we've gone on to another season this time.
Yeah, honestly. Well, technically, I brought up the White Ranger.
It's still
I also
minor.
brought up Alien Rangers.
Yeah.
Anyway, not the point. Yeah, so yeah, the candle burns out. Sucks for
Tommy
him.
loses his powers.
Yeah. And that is going to be so funny when we talk about the Doomsday two-parter.
Yeah.
Um yeah, Tommy battles the one-eye, yeah, the Cyclopes, whatever they called it. Um yeah, it's just Goldar's Zord that we've never heard about before. You know, it's always existed apparently. Uh yeah, that's episode 35. Any other thoughts on it, Lucky?
Mm, not really.
Yeah, or episode 35 and 34. I mean, they're good episodes. Out of season 1, I highly recommend Green with Evil and the basically all the episodes that have to do with Tommy losing and regaining and losing his powers.
Yeah.
Because ironically, those are the only ones that really hold any plot significance other than mentions later on. Um oh, this one that I feel like is a spiritual successor to Power Ranger Punks or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Episode 38. Rita sends Twin Man and 4 putty patrollers. I will talk about that in a second. To impersonate the Rangers in both their forms, in both their forms to Angel Grove. Once there, the doppelgangers cause trouble, and our heroes are sent to detention by Mr. Kaplan. With the Rangers in detention with Bulk and Skull, their doubles are free to wreak havoc and frame the Rangers even further. Okay, first of all, the putties. They're not normal putties. They use the super putty design,
Yeah.
which is like like I said mentioned earlier, one of the few appearances of the goddamn super putties. And they're not even mentioned by name. And they're beaten with normal weapons. So I think it was a mistake and they were not supposed to be super putties. They were just
Yeah.
supposed to be putties. Um, yeah, this feels like a spiritual successor to Power Ranger Punks, because even with Kimberly asking, or the clone slash whatever Kimberly, uh, asking Skull on a date. Which,
Yeah. That
which,
was something.
yeah, which is a putty asking some random dude they don't actually know, because they weren't given the memories of the Rangers.
Yeah.
They're just impersonating them. And they do a stupid prank that I don't even think they realize would cause the Rangers to go to detention. If that was actually part of the plan, it's a stupid plan.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the Rangers figure it out. They trick Bulk and Skull so they could teleport off. They defeat the doppelgangers that they shouldn't be able to defeat without the special weapons. And they save the day and get back to detention before the principal gets back. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a mistake. Oops.
What?
Uh, so the Cyclops in episode 34 and
Mhm.
35, that is just a Cyclops, because here we are, our grand finale for this part. Um, the Doomsday Part 1 and 2. That probably
Yeah.
should have been the season finale.
Yeah.
But anyway, Angel Grove is hosting a celebration in the park called Power Ranger Day, honoring the superheroes. The teens plan to make an appearance, but before they can morph, Rita abducts Angel Grove's citizens, relocates her palace on Earth, and launches a new attack using a war Zord called Cyclopses, whatever, with Goldar piloting. The Rangers summon the Zords, but Cyclopses proves to be a tough opponent, and Megazord soon struggle. And the Megazord is soon struggling, calling for the Ultra Zord. The Rangers destroy Cyclopes. However, Rita deals a savage blow by burying Titanus, then summoning Lokar to rebuild Goldar's war machine up and running. Cyclopes is stronger than ever. With the Zords damaged, things look bad. That wasn't a summary. That was a summary, but that was like the entire episode.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to be reading these, by the way. I just want to say this, guys. I will not be reading these for some later seasons. Because these summaries get to be like 2 paragraphs.
One of those seasons being Samurai.
Yeah, ironically, one of the seasons I hate the goddamn most. Alright. Episode 40, and then we'll talk about the things we like, didn't like, all of that, and we'll wrap this up. Cyclopes continues to wreak havoc in Angel Grove, and the Ranger Zords are only half power. Nonetheless, they return to the battlefield. Cyclopes proves to be too much and severely damages both Megazord and Dragonzord. Rita delivers a significant surge of energy from her wand, and both Zords fade away. Although this is a safety measure to prevent the Zord's destruction. The teens are still in full retreat. They fall back to Billy's lab to regroup, where Goldar greets them. After trashing Billy's garage, the teens scramble to the command center where Alpha 5 has some exciting news about the War Zord's main weakness. Tommy returns in a cameo at the end of the episode. Wow, okay, just spoil that. Yeah. Cyclopes changes itself, I think, to match the opponent it's fighting. Right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's because the way they exploit its weakness is they have to switch between forms quickly to defeat it.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because they go from Megazord to Dragon Zord battle mode to Ultra Zord. Or no, they go to the Megazord Dragon Zord fusion, then Ultra Zord, I think, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, they kill the big monster. Rita retreats back to the moon. Nothing changes. Yeah, and Tommy at the end of the episode brings up how, oh yeah, all the Rangers are cool, to a group of kids debating who the best Ranger is.
Yeah.
And I made a joke that I think it would be funny if one of the kids said, yeah, but that Green Ranger was kind of meh. Whether it was to their friends or to Tommy, I think that would have been funny.
Yeah.
But that is the batch of episodes we watched.
I will also say I did notice something. I didn't say it at the time, but Tommy does the like hand hug greeting with the Rangers, basically showing yeah, I know who the Rangers are. I'm friendly with them.
Yeah, The dude, hey, who's this dude who knows the Rangers enough to like hug them?
Yeah.
We're getting like basic high fives. This dude gets a handshake and a hug,
Yeah.
and he's wearing all green.
I wonder.
I wonder what the connection is.
And also the fact that no one actually really paid much attention to the fact that there was no Green Ranger anymore.
No one brings up the Green Ranger is gone, which is why I think the line at least acknowledging the Green Ranger is funny.
Yeah.
Like, I think it would be funny if the citizens were like, yeah, he tried to kill us, and he was kind of meh anyway. That's why I think that would have been funny. Would they have ever done that? No, because they want to make sure the Green Ranger stays cool, mysterious, awesome dude.
Yeah.
But that is the batch of episodes. Later season stuff we want to talk about or bring up now. That way it's in the air. Rangers, at least two of the Rangers always have complications with each other. It's a standard.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
I think we'll even bring it up every time it happens
Yes.
because it's never gonna stop. I think even the most recent seasons would have it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just
I will say, spoiler for this: Cosmic Fury does not, but that's only because Dino Fury had it, and it's the same team.
that's like, okay, to be fair, that's like I was saying with Alien Rangers not being Mighty Morphin. Technically,
Yeah.
it's Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. I will
Yeah.
argue at the very least up to Zeo is all the original Mighty Morphin continuity. You can argue past that.
I'd say up to In Space.
No, that's the
'Cause
Zordon era. I
that's
mean, like,
sort of,
with the
yeah.
original team, the original Mighty Morphin era. Not the Zordon
Um.
era.
Then you'd be saying halfway through Turbo.
Yeah, which is probably what I meant by. That's what I meant by, like, you could argue more.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about seasons we're not even going to be watching for another couple months at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, well, we suck at outros. So, I'm Ben,
I'm lucky.
and this is the Mighty Morphin Power Nerds.
Goodbye.